This is AC Starlord, and welcome to my channel. And we're going to be talking about the House of Gucci, father, son, and the House of Gucci. So, and this movie starts off with the Kylo Ren, or AKA, well, Kylo Ren or Adam Driver, as like one of the young family members of the Gucci. He meets um, he meets Lady Gaga's character that was like, just came from a regular family, her running, helping run her dad's business, and then they fall in love, and of course they get married, and she becomes a Gucci. He's already a Gucci, and they run the Gucci empire. So all that stuff, like the clothes, like the shirts, the dresses, the bags that everyone tries to get, or at least every rapper, or at least every um, actor, performer that we know has the clothes today. Well, this is a story about how that clothes and those bags and all that stuff got to be so big. So basically, after they got married, they Lady Gaga's character was trying to help groom him to be something bigger in his family, and his bigger son, bigger, something big in his family to take over the whole empire. But what she really wanted to do was take over the empire because she was talking to a fortune teller before they got married. She said that you have all this, you have a destiny, and someone's going to take that away from you, and she didn't want that to happen. So basically, on the other hand, for her, she was backstabbing her husband to make deals with other people in the family just to get herself up there because, well, she wanted money, she wanted the fame, the fortune, the money. But he was trying to help run the business because he was inherited from his father. His father owned the business, and also with his brother, and then his son, his brother's son, which is his uncle's, also his son, also wants to be part of the business, but he has a genius, but he does browns and pastels, and browns and pastels don't work together or whatever. So his so his uncle's son doesn't have, he has a genius, but he doesn't have the color sense to put everything together. We all know that Gucci's either like a gold and red and green, or just red and green and other colors with it. There's no browns and pastels. So that's what's wrong. His uncle's son, but his uncle's son was played by Jared Leto, as we all know from like a little quiet, some other movies. Going about to be in Morbius pretty soon, but like the last movie he was doing is a little, I think, a movie with Denzel Washington. It's like something about a little secrets or something. I forgot the name of the title. I have the movie, but I forgot it. But it's a really good movie. But he was also the Joker, as we all know. If you know Jared Leto for anything, he's a Joker. And now gonna be Morbius, but he's also played in this movie, like a very eccentric cousin to Adam Driver, and it's like he wants to be part of the family, but no one. But he wants to be part of the design, but no one really cares. So that's what that character. And then Adam Driver is still trying to run the business the way he wants to run it, and the way he has to, the way he wants to run things. And then Lady Gaga, his wife, is going around talking to his uncle, and then his uncle eventually grooms Adam Driver to do what the business is. His father, and then eventually his father gives Adam Driver his respect, because before he just thought his wife was only for his money and all that stuff, but now they have a child named after the mother, gave him his respects. He ends up dying, and then he takes over the whole company after that. Still getting help from his uncle. also helping out his cousin. His cousin had a they put on a fake fat. He put on a fashion show that ends up being raided because of a trade war and all that stuff, and it was included. I mean, it was taken down because of Adam Driver's wife, which is Lady Gaga, and because Lady Gaga wants again all the money and the power and all that stuff. Because she's like, oh, it's my name, not yours. Everyone told, and plus she got married into the family, so everyone told her that you're not a real Gucci, you know. You're just married into the family. You're not a real Gucci. Even her husband, Adam Driver, says, "Look, this is my name," and she's like, "No, it's my name now, sweetie," you know. And she couldn't handle people telling her no. But also, one day she also saw the maid have a Gucci bag and it was sold for $29. They went before, so she went to go check it out and the quality bag was cheap and all that stuff. And before that, they got a run of like the farm and how the cows they use for the leather and all that stuff. How it's supposed to be authentic leather and all that stuff. And that was part of the grooming process. And then she finds out, okay, these bags are cheap, and she goes to the uncle of the family, of the uncle of Driver, and goes to him like saying like, but don't you care about quality? I thought you showed us all this leather. He said it's not the quality of the thing; it's put her name on the product, and who cares if, you know, who cares if the quality is bad as long as a regular person like me and like a regular woman or a regular person like me can buy the product for a reasonable price and believe that they have a Gucci. So that was up with that. And then eventually their marriage unraveled because he realized that she was a different person because she just won the money, the fortune, the fame, and all that stuff. Got a divorce, and from there, he was hanging out with some old friends of theirs, and she got to meet him before they got divorced, and then talking about where they got the macaroons. She wanted this big giant story, and no one really necessarily knew that. He saw a change in her because she was like, "Yeah, they don't really need that. Just ask where the macaroons came from." And short and simple, this basically, after they got divorced, he was hanging out with another friend of his that he knew, and all that stuff. And they do have a child together, so basically that sharing parenting rights and all that stuff. And the thing was though, she got mad that he was spending his time with some other person, and after the divorce and all that stuff, and couldn't show up for their family, for his own daughter's events because he didn't care about her at this point, and she plots a revenge plot to kill him with her fortune teller, which was played by Salma Hayek, which was Internals, also in Internals before that. So Salma Hayek plays a bad guy in this, plays a superhero in the other Marvel movies. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Um, and they form a plan to kill the husband. They kill them, killing her husband. And she ends up taking, well, her story ends up she's ended up taking his house, but also for his side of the story, when they got divorced, they want he buys out his cousin and his uncle's shares of the company, and then with other companies sharing it with other companies like Louis Vuitton and all that stuff as a cross deal, and then eventually those people that he's working with want to outbuy his shares, and well, of course, since he ends up dead, twist this, they end up buying his shares anyways, and now it's a global big company. Now today, it's not a family company where it was in the beginning of this whole movie, and throughout the whole movie, it was a company affair. I mean, it was a family. It was a family company affair. Now it's just a regular, big giant company. So when you buy something there, or if you buy a cheap knockoff or whatever, you're now part of the Gucci family. So basically, today it's not a family business, it's a big global company. But back then, when these family members are alive, it was a family affair. So it's a very interesting movie. I didn't want to give out too much information. I just wanted you to, you guys get the basic information. There's a lot more to this story. Go watch the movie. It's a very interesting movie. I highly recommend it if you like Adam Driver, especially if you like him in Star Wars, the Star Wars franchise that we recently got and ended, and how you like his rage going on. Well, his rage in this was a much more calmer because his character is much more quieter, but he still has that Kylo Ren rage. If you want to see Lady Gaga go, "This is my name, sweetie," or Father, Son, and the Holy Father, Son, Father, Son, and the House of Gucci. See that? If you want to see Jared Leto be a eccentric designer that talks like very soft and like like a female voice, then yeah. Or Al Pacino. I forgot Al Pacino's also in this. Al Pacino also plays the main uncle in this that helps him groom him. If you want to see Al Pacino, you looking at me? Oh man, you're talking to me. You're talking to me. You're talking to me, but as a more Italian, more of a Tuscany accent, and say, it's not about the quality of the bag, it's the quantity. We're Gucci. Do that. But this is a really good movie. I recommend checking it out. I didn't want to give out too much details again because it's a really good movie. There's other details in this to understand the story, but basically, it is also a story of how Gucci became a global company, but also how his wife assassinated or planned to assassinate him because of greed, revenge, money, and fortune, basically, and being famous for that. So in the quotes of Lil Pump, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, spend $100 on and spend something, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. That song, Gucci gang, that's all I know. But in his words, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Father, Son, and the House of Gucci. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, House of Gucci. So if you like this, subscribe. If you like this, put a like behind it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and maybe you might get a Gucci bag or some Gucci shoes or shirt, dress, whatever. If you like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. You never know. It might come your way. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. House of Gucci. Peace.